Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. I am Talia and I welcome you all to a series of program of BS level biology with the subject code 4401 for Allama Iqbal Open University. Students, this is the 5th program of our second series and it's our aim to impart quality education in those who have a passion to acquire it. And our journey is proving to be successful for every student who has a desire for knowledge. Now students, let's welcome our expert and a distinctive biologist, Dr. Muhammad Azad. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum assalam.
So what's our topic of discussion for today?
Today we will be starting with a new chapter or new module, and the first topic of that module is gene linkages and crossing overs.
Now I would like you to formally start with today's lecture.
Thank you, Talia.
You're welcome.
Dear students, today we are starting with a new module, and in this module we'll be discussing about the gene linkages. All of you know that every trait is determined by a gene. Can you imagine how many traits they have been discovered in human body? Yes, on an average, till now, more than 40,000 traits have been discovered. It means more than 40,000 genes they are there. And how many chromosomes we are having? We are having only 23 pairs, 46 chromosomes, 40,000 genes and only 23 chromosomes. It means one chromosomes will be having thousands of the genes. All genes which are located on a single chromosome, they are called as linked gene. They are linked with each other. And this phenomena is called as gene linkage. These genes which are present on the same chromosome, they are not going to follow the Mendelian's principles of independent assortment. Because that is, Mendel was lucky enough that he worked on the trait, only those traits which were present on different chromosomes. So this is one of the exception to the Mendelian principle, gene linkage. Starting with our slide presentations. Each species of organism must contain hundreds to thousands of the gene, yet most species have at most a few dozen of chromosomes. Therefore, each chromosome is likely to carry many hundred or even thousands of the different genes. The transmission of such genes will violate the Mendelian's law of independent assortment. In eukaryotic species, each linear chromosomes contains a long piece of DNA. A typical chromosome contains many hundreds or even a few thousand different genes. The term linkage has two related meanings. Number one, two or more genes can be located on the same chromosome and these are transmitted as a unit. So these are the two of the important phenomena. Chromosomes are called as linkage groups. They contain a group of genes that is linked together on the same chromosome. So number of linkage groups in the number of types of chromosome of species. For example, in humans, we are having 22 autosomal linkage groups, an X chromosome linkage group, a Y chromosome linkage group. Genes that are far apart on the same chromosome may independently sort from each other. That is due to the crossing over. Two genes on the separate chromosome sort independently at the time of meiosis. Two genes far apart on the same chromosome can also sort independently at meiosis. Two genes close together on the same chromosome pair do not sort independently at meiosis, and a recombinant frequency of more than 50% between the two genes shows that they are linked. Morgan again provided us the evidence for the linkage of several sex-linked genes or X-linked traits. However, Morgan still had to interpret two key observations. What are these observations? The first, why did the F2 generation have a significant number of non-parental combination? Why was there a quantitative difference between the various non-parental combinations? Let's reorganize Morgan's data by considering the pairs of genes separately. So, the two of the trait grey body red eye with yellow body white eyes, grey body white eyes, yellow body red eyes, these are the number of offspring observed by the Morgan, and this is the total number of offspring. So, these 17 and 20, they are very less in number in comparison to these original groups. While in case of here the two recombinants which are there, that is 400 and 300, they are significantly, you can say, the different from the major component. So, if we are going to look this non-parental combination which is rare, and here this non-parental combination, it is very frequent, 300 and 400 population, that is much more significant. To explain these data, Morgan considered the previous studies of cytologist Jensen's that observed chiasmata microscopically and proposed that crossing over involves a physical exchange between homologous chromosomes. Morgan realized that crossing over between homologous X chromosome was consistent with the data. Crossing over did not occur between the X and Y chromosome because they are not homologous chromosome. The three genes, they were not found on the Y chromosome. Morgan made three important hypotheses to explain this result. Genes for the body color and eye color and wing length are located on the X chromosome. They tend to be inherited together. Due to crossing over, the homologous X chromosome in the female can exchange pieces of chromosome. This created a new combination of alleles. The likelihood of crossing over depends upon the parental combinations. Crossing over is more likely to occur between two genes that are far apart from each other. In this animation, so there are two pairs of chromosomes, and these pairs, they are going to have capital F, capital G, small g, and there are two alternative alignments. The first alignment is like that these chromosomes are going to align in the form that capital F will go with capital G and small f with small g. Second alignment is that this capital F is going to go with the small g and this small f is going to go with the capital G. So, if this is the alignments, then the result, as a result of anaphase, telophase, the four daughter cells are produced which will be having the combination, the gene combination in the form like that. So, they are going to undergo the second meiotic division in which their splitting of chromatids is there, and then these chromatids are again going through these anaphase, telophase, giving us the 8 number of offspring. Here these are the original parental types and these are the recombinant type. The capital F combined with small g, capital F combined with the small g and this small f. So, 50% of these combination and 50% of these combinations, they are there. So, this is as a result of independent assortment. Bateson and Punnett discovered two traits that did not assort independently. It was 1905 that both of these scientists conducted a cross in sweet pea involving two different traits, flower color and pollen shape. This is a dihybrid cross that is expected to yield a 9:3:3:1 phenotypic ratio in F2 generation. However, the result obtained, they were surprising, and these are like that: purple flowers with the long pollen crossed with the round pollen with the red flowers. So, all of these, they are purple flowers with the long pollen. It means both of these, they are the dominant trait and they are having this 9:3:3:1 ratio. This was the expected number of, you can say, the individual in this offspring. So, a much greater proportion of the two types are found in parental genotypes. Here if you are going to look at, so this is 15.6, 4.5, and here this is 1 and 1. So this is not the 3-3-0-3-3-1 ratio instead of 9-3-3-1 ratio. They suggested that the transmission of the two traits from the parent was somehow coupled. The two traits are not easily sorted in an independent manner. However, they did not realize that the coupling is due to the linkage of the two genes on the same chromosomes. So again, this is a dihybrid cross, where heterozygous into heterozygous cross. This must be 9-3-3-1 ratio if the genes they are unlinked and the alleles are going to have independent assortment. Dear students, what we have discussed till now. So normally if we are going to have a heterozygous dihybrid individual to be crossed with heterozygous dihybrid individuals, we are expecting a ratio, phenotypic ratio of 9-3-3-1 individual. 9 individual with both the dominant trait, 3 individual with one dominant and other recessive trait, and only 1 individual out of 16 with both the recessive trait. But in certain situations, we are not going to have such variety of results. And like in the previous slide we have gone, that instead of 9-3-3-1, we are having mainly the dominant and recessive in the form of 3-1 with a few numbers of recombinant form in the combination of the different traits. So this phenomena is being tested with one of the statistical tests which is called as chi-square test. Chi-square test is going to give the answers of situation if there is a difference between our observed values and expected value. So this difference is just by chance or some other factor is going to operate. Like if we are going to have tossing of a coin, we are expecting 50 times head, 50 times tail. But if we are having our result that it is 70 times head and 30 times tails, it means some other factor is going to operate. So similarly, if 9-3-3-1 ratio is behaving like 3-1 ratio, then we are going to apply the chi-square test to test the significance of the difference, and if it is proved that it is you can say significantly different from the observed values, then we are going to say that genes are located on the same chromosome. So both of the genes, they are linked gene because they are not going to follow the Mendelian principles. Again going to our slides. So what is chi-square analysis? This method is frequently used to determine if the outcome of a dihybrid cross is consistent with the linkage or independent assortment. If the data of dihybrid cross behaves like a monohybrid cross, it means both genes are linked together.
Okay, sir, at this point of time, I have a question for you. If dihybrid cross is behaving like a monohybrid cross, so what is the reason for the production of small number of recombinants?
Yes, this is a very important question to deal with for the students. So if a dihybrid cross is behaving like a monohybrid cross, it means both genes are linked together. If they are linked together, then how the recombinant is produced? Yes, the answer to your question, Talia, that is the crossing over.
Okay.
So now I am going to discuss the detail of crossing over in the form of our slide presentation. What the crossing over is, so this is the method of genetic recombination. So these are the chromosomes at prophase 1 of meiosis, and there is exchange of this genetic material. This is a formation of a cross which is called as chiasmata, and this exchange of material is going to occur between the non-sister chromatid of homologous chromosome. Looking at some of the basic questions, who does crossing over affect? So crossing over is going to affect mainly the eukaryotic cell and to limited extent only the prokaryotic cells. Second question, what is the crossing over? So this is the exchange of chromosomal segment between non-sister chromatids. So sometime in meiosis, homologous chromosome exchange part, and in this process is called as crossing over, and the products are called as crossover products. Like here, so you are going to look at, this is one of the blue and the red chromatids were there. Now they have exchanged their part. The red have taken the part of blue and the blue have taken the part of red. So this exchange of genetic material is called as crossing over. Another question, when does it happen? So the time of occurrence of this event. So this is the prophase 1 of meiosis. Remember the difference between the mitosis and meiosis. So you must be knowing the mitosis is a single division of chromosome and single division of nucleus, while meiosis is the double division of the nucleus and single division of chromosome. So meiosis is having meiosis 1 and meiosis 2, prophase 1 and prophase 2. So meiosis is going to give us genetic diversity, while the mitosis is going to give us identical daughter cells. Where does crossing over occur? The location. So this is the genetic swapping or the crossovers that is going to occur between paired homologous chromosome in our sex cell. And what are the sex cell? The eggs and sperms. Chromosome, first they are going to pair, then they are going to change their genetic material, and the genes that have a tendency to remain together during crossover are said to be the linked gene. And we are going to talk further in our upcoming discussion over that. Why does crossing over occur? Just to give us recombinant variety to provide genetic variation during the process of meiosis. And at the bottom line of these important facts, we can say that it's why you and I don't look alike, why we are different from each other. So we are different from each other due to the crossing over. So this crossing over ensures a combination of the maternal and paternal genes we are going to inherit. So we are not the exact copy of our father and we are not exact copy of our mother. Looking at the different, you can say, the gene combination. So these are the haploid cells which contain the same combination allele as the original chromosome. Capital A with capital A and capital B with capital B, small b with small a and small b with small a. So these are the parental combinations which are, so there is no crossing over in this process. But if we are going to look another situation, so here there is capital B is there with small a and capital B is there, small b is there with the capital A, and these are the recombinants which are there. So these new combination of allele is the result of crossing over, and these are called as recombinant cells. So recombination during meiosis, these are the two chromosomes, green and the white in color, and then this is the chiasmata formation. They are going to exchange their segments, and these two, they are the recombinant, and these are two, they are of original variety. In this animation they have shown meiosis with the crossing over. So these are two pairs of homologous chromosomes, and they are going to be there pairing lengthwise during the process of prophase 1, and this pairing of homologous chromosome lengthwise is called as process of synapsis. So they are going to pair up like that, made up of 4 chromatids which are called as tetrads, and during this process of formation of these tetrads, now they are going to align. This is a chromosome with the two genes capital B and capital A, and this is a chromosome with genes small b and small b. So if they are going to segregate and separate like that, so this will be the case of independent assortment. 4 daughter cells will be produced, and all these daughter cells, they will be having the genetic combination as parental genotypes. So this is the case if there is no crossing over. But in other case, if the crossing over is there, so there is breakage of the part of this chromosome that get attached with this, and here the part of this is being attached, and here the gene combination is there. So this is the recombinant with capital B and small a, and this is the recombinant with small b with capital A. These two, they are original one, and these two, they are the recombinant variety of the, you can say, the cells, and they are going to show the mixing of the trait. The question which was asked, so why the recombinants are there? So these recombinants are due to reshuffling of the gene during the process of crossing over. Dear students, many scientists like Morgan and other colleagues, they worked on making a genetic map, and they are going to use the crossover values. So recombinant values are used. So closer the two genes, less chance of crossing over. Far away the two genes, more chances of crossing over is there. So 1% frequency of recombinant is used as one Morgan unit or one map unit, and then we are going to draw the genetic maps. Looking at our slides of how to make the genetic maps. Linkage maps, let U and V be the two genes on the same chromosome. In every meiosis, chromatids cross over at random along the chromosome. If the chromatid crossover between U and V, then a recombinant is produced. The farther apart U and V, the greater the chance that a crossing over would occur between them, the greater the chance of recombination between them. Look, you can see here, so these A and B, they are going to have more distance, so more chances of crossing over are there. And if they are very narrow, then less chance of crossing over is there. We are going to calculate recombination fraction. If this fraction is having a value of less than 0.5, we are going to say the genes are linked, and if it is having a value of more than 0.5, we are going to say the genes, they are not linked. So this is the unit of recombination, that is centimorgans, and 1 centimorgans or 1 map unit is the distance between the genes for which recombination frequency is 1%. Interference, if they are crossover is adjacent chromosome region, are usually not independent. This interaction is called as interference, and it is calculated 1 minus observed number of recombinations and expected number of recombinations. Building a genetic maps, first only the genes with variant alleles producing detectably different phenotypes were used as a marker. So we are having the problems of calculation of intervals, and we are having the solutions to use the molecular marker for that. This is one of the genetic map, and this is going to determine the distance between the linked gene. Like here, between these two genes, the crossover frequency is the difference between these two figures. So we are going to place the different gene in construction of these map. Recombination frequency is calculated by number of recombinant progeny divided by the total number of progeny, and it is expressed as a percentage or decimal. And we are going to calculate the distance map in the form of Morgan unit, 1% recombination mean 1 map unit or 1 centimorgan unit. So basically, tracking crossing over helps to determine where the genes are located on the chromosome. Genes that are far apart have a greater chance of crossing over, genes that are closer having a less likely chances of crossing over, and genes that stay together, they are said to be linked. One gene can be identified as a marker that can infer the presence of other gene. This can be used in identification of the disease predisposition. Going with one of the practical situation, in rabbits, so black allele is dominant to brown, while the fur color, that is the full color of fur, is dominant to the chinchilla color. And if we are going to go with these, you can say the offspring, 31s they are having both the dominant trait, 34s they are having both the recessive, and then the combination 16 and 90. Then how we are going to calculate? So we are going to add all these 16 plus 19 divided by total. These are the recombinant. 16 and 19 they are recombinant divided by the total numbers. So this is going to go with the 35% recombinant frequency. It means the distance between these two genes, that is 35 Morgan units or 35 map units. So Morgan's interpretation is recombination was caused by the linear arrangement of genes and crossing over, and frequency of recombination was determined by the distance between the gene. And student has the mapping, let's say if these are the crossover frequency, he made a map like that. Let's say if the crossover frequency is 0.5 between Y and W, it means the distance between two the gene is like this much centimorgan or map unit. And if the crossover frequency between gene W and M, that is 34.5, it means the distance between these two genes, that is about 34.5 map unit or centimorgan units. Dear student, so this was the procedure of constructing a genetic map by using crossover frequency, and that's all for today's program.
Well, thank you so much, sir, for such an engaging lecture and introducing our students with new terminologies and mechanisms.
Thank you.
Okay, students, now I'll summarize today's lecture for you. In today's lecture, we discussed about gene linkages, then we discussed about crossing over, and then finally, we discussed about construction of a gene map. Inshallah, in our upcoming programs, new dimensions of knowledge will get unveiled. Till that time, take care of yourself, study hard, and utilize your abilities to their optimum level. Allah Hafiz.